Today I'm going to tell you about top 10 mindsets that can make you rich from the book The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And by the end of the video, I'll tell you 3 surprising facts about Warren Buffett that you might never have heard about. So let's get started. The book describes the concept of wealth is associated more to do with the mindset than a plan or a strategy. We all have been taught since our childhood that money has a blueprint. You work hard at school and college to get a secure job of $50,000 to $60,000 per year, work for money, spend money on latest products and technologies, spend it on liabilities that you want which actually have no need for, and be in debt for a long time. This led to our feelings about money and then to our actions, which then gets converted to results. So depending on the blueprint you create one for yourself, it gets reflected into your bank accounts. So it is important to have the right mindset about money and to give your full support to smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribing to the channel while the intro is playing. Before we get into the 10 mindsets of the rich, let's take a look at the 3 main ways that we develop our money blueprint. The first is verbal. The words we speak and hear can make a huge difference. Let's say there are 2 friends, Rob and Bob. Rob's parents often talk with him like money is the root of all evil. Rich people are very greedy. The government should increase the tax of the rich and lower the tax of the middle class. Or most commonly said, I can't afford it. They would also say, you must earn money just enough to live comfortably, and after that, you're just greedy. Whereas Bob's parents tell him that the lack of money is the root of all evil. Money is important. Money means freedom, to have more options. Money is responsibility. Things that are constantly repeated to us tend to find their way into our subconscious mind, which then, when the blueprint is put into action, it's reflected into their bank accounts and net worth. Bob becomes more and more successful by starting multiple businesses, investing, and also he is a very generous philanthropist. Whereas in case of Rob, he turned out to settle with a job with an average paycheck, has to pay taxes, and there is hardly any extra money for him to give to charities. The second point towards developing money blueprint is modeling. We tend to develop the same financial pattern as our parents or the people we are often around. This is the reason why Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Jack Ma, and many other successful and visionary people have said the same thing. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. This is because when we surround ourselves with smarter people, we tend to model their behavior when they are around us. The third is the experience with money. Example, if you had some experience in your life with a rich person or a poor person, you might associate your reflected attitude towards that experience in your blueprint. Alright, now that you know the ways to build your money blueprint, we need to know about the top 10 mindsets the rich have that help them build their wealth. Some of these have been altered by me a little bit to make you understand completely and easily. So let's begin. Number 1. The rich play to win. The poor play not to lose. There's a huge difference. If you play a football match in defense, what are the chances of you winning? It's almost close to none. You will either lose or with a very good defense, you will have a tie. Most people play the financial game on defense and that's why their financial scores stays low or just enough to get by. The rich on the other hand play the game in offense. In case of football, the team that plays offense have a higher chance to win the game. The rich play the game to win and will not stop until they do. This brings me to the second point. The rich are committed to be rich, whereas the poor just wish to be rich. If you ask anyone, do you want to be rich? The chances are that people would say, of course, who wouldn't? These people consist of both the rich and the poor. The poor think that the rich are not happy or they are very greedy or being rich is not for them. They would also say it would be nice to have a choice of being wealthy, but it takes too much work. That's a poor person's mentality towards the rich. Even if they wish to be rich, they are not committed to it. On the other hand, the rich have a strong desire and are committed to being rich. They would advise you to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm and comment down below if you know any person who is rich and what have you observed about their mindset and behavior when you had a talk with them. If the rich gets an opportunity of a business which they understand fully and the business is ethical, moral and legal and they find it profitable, they would take that opportunity even if there is some level of risk, whereas the poor won't. They would just play it safe. Number 3. The rich think big, the poor think small. If you work at a 9-to-5 job, you know that you are paid according to the value you provide to the company. Let's say Rob is a yoga teacher at a club and he has 4 batches of 30 people per batch to teach yoga. That is 120 people in total. For each person, Rob gets paid $50 by the club and he spends most of the time in the club teaching them yoga. That way he is getting paid for the time he gives and the yoga knowledge he provides. On the other hand, Bob is also a yoga teacher, but instead of working for the club, he created his own yoga lesson program in the form of an online video course for millions of people around the world. This yoga class he then puts up online to his website, does some marketing, and charges each person a certain amount of dollars for the whole course. Bob then does not have to spend more time in the club and he can spare his time learning new skills or working at another job. Bob has created a great way of passive income. He enjoys the income each month generated by the website for years and years as large number of people across the world takes up his course, whereas Rob is still struggling to get more people to join his yoga session so that he can get paid more. That way, Bob has mentality of thinking big, whereas Rob has mentality of thinking small. Number 4. The rich focus on opportunities while the poor focus on obstacles. The poor make decisions based on fear. The rich make decision after understanding the game even if it has some level of risk, because the rich understand money and poor don't. If something goes wrong, the rich find another way to accomplish their goal, but the poor might just give up after their first try. 5th, the rich talk about money, the poor avoid talking about money. If you join a group of rich people, you will find that they talk about money, investing, strategies, business plans, and share their success stories because they know discussing these would increase their knowledge about money. The poor, on the other hand, avoid talking about money. They just find it embarrassing to talk about money since they don't have much, and they feel that talking about money would make others think that they are greedy. The rich know the power of being surrounded by smart, successful, and visionary people. This brings me to the next point. Number 6. The rich surround themselves with positive and successful people. The poor surround themselves with like-minded, negative and unsuccessful people. This goes hand in hand with the 5th point. You will find poor people usually talk about how much they hate their job, how low their income is, how hard it is to manage both work and family, how they have so much debt they can't even pay, and how their life just gets worse. The thing is, energy is quite neutral as long as one feeds it with more negative or positive energy. The more you stay in the environment where people talk negatively, the chances are you might also get demotivated like them. Has it ever occurred to you if you ever been with a person who is always happy, positive, and with a good mood and optimistic? You sort of feel good too. This is something called as the law of environmental exposure. Number 7. The rich often promote themselves, their values, and their products, whereas the poor hate promoting themselves. They criticize about selling and promotion. The rich think that selling is the basis of all businesses. Unfortunately, the poor think that people who do sales, promotions, and advertise themselves are crooks. Typically, they would say people selling are liars. They just want your money. Promotion and selling is one of the best skills you can learn to really know how money works. And also, you would want to hit that like button below this video for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel. Before we go to the 8th point, let me tell you 3 surprising facts about Warren Buffett. First, taking advice from Warren Buffett could be worth millions of dollars. He could teach you a lot, and that's why some people are so eager to sit down with him that they've bid up to $4.57 million to have lunch with him. Second, Buffett lives in the same house since 1958 that he bought for $31,500. He's not fond of mansions, vacation homes, or expensive cars, but this guy lives in the same house for more than 6 decades. And the third is, 99% of Warren Buffett's wealth came after he turned 50. Number 8. The rich choose to get paid based on results, while the poor choose to get paid based on time. This is a decision that rich and poor make. Poor people get paid by the number of hours they work. The limitation comes when number of hours a day has. There's only 24 hours in a day. That creates a limit for their income, which makes it really hard to build wealth. The rich, on the other hand, try to deliver maximum amount of value to the maximum amount of people in the minimum time and resources possible. The rich do that by having a business plan. Talking about business plan is a topic of another video, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Also, here's another fact about Warren Buffett. He bought his first stock when he was 11. Everyone knows this, right? But do you know that he made around $53,000 by the age of 16? That is just crazy money for a kid of that age. Number 9. The rich focus on net worth, the poor focus on income. The rich people know that the true wealth is their net worth and not income. There are 4 main components of building wealth: income, savings, investments, and simplification. Income can be further classified as 2 types: active income and passive income. The active income is the income that you make while working and exchanging your time for money. When you leave the job, the active income becomes zero. Passive income is the income that you will earn without actively working for it or exchanging your time for money. Most people focus on growing their active income, which doesn't help them, as making more money won't help them if they spend it all and don't have the right financial education. So it is important to save the money you earn and hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can move on to the third step, investing. Investing is the key tool towards building wealth. People study about the risk and rewards of investing and different options that will be best for their cash flow. The next component is simplification. Reduce the unnecessary cost and live a little below your means. This goes hand in hand with savings and investing. These components might not make you rich overnight, but when followed for a long period of time, it will give you great returns. The last point is, the rich put their money to work while the poor just work for the money. The rich know that the more they can make their money work, the less they will have to work later. Their goal is to be financially free and never have to worry about money. This is done by building passive income. When your passive income exceeds the expenses of your lifestyle, you are financially free. Passive income have two primary sources. One where money works for you, where you invest money into dividend stocks, bonds, mutual funds and building assets. Second is business that works for you, where you build a business but you don't have to be involved in the business operations like rental properties, royalties and patents, licensing, etc. The rich people constantly learn and grow. They are constantly reading, studying and developing themselves. Alright guys, these were the 10 mindsets that the rich have used to grow their wealth and which you can use too for building your wealth. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more about personal finance, passive income, stock market investing and compounding your money while you sleep, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. I love you all and will see you in the next video.